Great. So I have one question from us at Qt. Did you analyze your own Facebook profile? And hold on, I'll give you the microphone to record this.
I did actually, and it was very valid. So when you look at those reliabilities of personality profile, for instance, it is they were not so well. They were like half of the questionnaire reliability. But please know that we have there people in a sample there that like 2 or 3 things on Facebook at large. Like they didn't like more. I am kind of an average Facebook user. I probably have around 50 or 60 likes. And my profile was actually totally correct.
Thank you for that information.
You can, I'm not sure if you, actually I could show you the demo. The internet here is,
okay, that's okay.
no?
All right, I think we had a question on the left side here.
I have actually 2 concerns, and I'm thinking then about the judgments we are making based on that data or information we are collecting. And one of the concerns is related to what data is actually, or we consider relevant for the judgments we are making for the job performance, future job performance. And the second, probably it's a little bit vulgar comparison I made, but think about only about literature. How do you make judgments, for example, if a person like to read Charles Dickens and Isaac Asimov, and compare to a person who reads only Isaac Asimov or only Charles Dickens? And this data leads to some type of judgments. Is that relevant for the job performance?
Thank you for that question. It's an amazing one, actually. And this is a very important point here. And I like that you said judgments. If you guys go to someone's Facebook profile and look at the picture, look at the likes, try to figure out who this person is, you are making judgments. And don't do it. Because those judgments are very often invalid. Think about interviews. Interviews is why we use structured interviews at the moment, but they're still not there. Interviews are highly unreliable because there are many things that are influencing the interview that should not be influencing interview. And they are not allowing you to assess the person accurately. The same about looking at the Facebook profile. I actually had a student last year, and she wrote a dissertation about checking how picturing yourself on a Facebook profile in certain ways is related to your actual traits. And she looked at some issues that might be relevant to in terms of job seeking. So for instance, she looked whether you are posing on a picture with alcohol, or how large is your cleavage on the picture. And the assumption was that maybe, because if you ask employers, and she actually cited literature showing that employers were like, oh, if I see a person with alcohol on the picture, I would never hire him or her because she's totally inconscientious. She's not a good employee for my company. And she tried to verify those claims, check whether actually showing a huge cleavage on the picture or showing yourself with a beer really means that your personality is different. And she found that the only thing that differs is that those guys have high extroversion and marginally higher IQ, which shows how unfair are the judgments that potential employers may make. If you want to hire a person that sells stuff, an extrovert, a team leader, hire a person that has a beer on his picture and is half naked. Seriously, you'll make a very good choice. And this is another actually point here in what you said, is that you should avoid making human judgments because you naturally are affected by stereotypes and about your limited knowledge about culture, how certain things relate to individual traits and so on. We have a lot of knowledge here, but it's not perfect, especially when we now have so much signal that we didn't have before. In the past, I wanted to say that people are perfect psychometric machines. Our machinery here to detect someone's personality or IQ was honed in throughout our evolution because it was crucial for our survival to quickly figure out whether this person is aggressive or not, whether this person is smart or not, whether this person will cheat me or not. But we were doing it in a completely different environment. We're meeting people in person, we're not nicely dressed, we didn't use perfumes, we did not go to schools, we didn't read books and so on. All of this signal was not present. It's why we're very good at judgments based on face-to-face interaction, first 5 seconds and so on. Those judgments are surprisingly accurate. But we didn't evolve to judge people based on Facebook. So don't do it. What you can do, you can ask computer to do it for you. Because computer is neutral. It will not judge, it will assess.
Yes, but your computer needs the algorithm. So your computer needs to know what is good and what is wrong and what to choose. Because it's not doing it just by himself. It needs the algorithm.
Exactly.
Get it.
No, you don't. So what I was showing here, the stuff I was showing here, this was done using machine learning. In machine learning, we do not give computer an algorithm. We give computer the tools and say, now go and figure. Right? Like we give him statistical tools, we show him this is the data, let's say Facebook likes. Those are the outcome variables, like how good you're at work, whether your parents were divorced, what's your extroversion, and so on. We give him some tools and then say, now learn how to use those tools. We do not tell you that having a beer on the picture means you're extroverted or not. We don't do it because this is judgment. We say, figure it out on yourself. And computers will it work for a few seconds, or a few hours, or a few days, depending on the size of the model. And then we'll tell you, okay, now I know. And now you give the computer a new person that the computer never seen before, and computer will make an assessment. And it's a big point what you said. It's a big point to avoid interviews, avoid judging things just using your judgment. Use assessment, not judgment.
All right, I think we have room for one last question. Someone's itching. Go for it.
A lot of research shows that we think about what we are posting on Facebook and things like that. Is it then a valid source to make judgment or
Judgments. It's not a valid source to make judgments.
I mean, is it true data, or if you know what I mean?
It's because if you want to hire people that are very highly kind of conscious on themselves and they control the environmental, I should ask this question. Sweden is a very open-minded country. Is there anyone in this room that was never drunk in their lives? Can you raise your hands? Anyone who never was drunk in your life? We have 1 person, 2 people, thank you. It's all right not to be drunk in your lives. I wouldn't raise my hand. I was drunk a few times in my life, so I'm sorry for that. If you would have Facebook when you were young, it's obvious that your drunken pictures will be on Facebook, even if you haven't put them there. One of your friendly friends would do it. If you tell me, okay, hire this person, I go on Facebook and I see his drunken picture, I'm like, I don't want to hire this person, he has a drunken picture on Facebook. Come on! Everyone sooner or later will have drunken pictures on Facebook, and people who remove them are just people who are, highly skilled on self-monitoring, political skills, enhancing misrepresentation. If you want this chameleon kind of person in your company, he can be a good PR person, especially if you're tobacco industry. Hire this guy. But if you want, normal people, honest people, just don't do it. If you use a computer is much more neutral because computer doesn't judge. He doesn't care whether drinking is perceived as good or bad in the society. Computer just tries to figure out what's the relationship between posting a picture with beer and your intelligence. And it will figure out that actually your intelligence is slightly above average, probably, if you do that. I don't know why. I haven't had any drunken pictures on Facebook. Maybe it says some bad things about me. And certainly no one is interested in the cleavage, but I have to work on it.